What's up, everybody? We are going to do a tier list of my favorite band in the world and all the albums that they have released so far. This has been on the chopping block for me forever, probably since I started this channel. But with the release of Private Music last year in August, I now have an even better excuse to actually get this thing done. It's been a while since I've actually done one of these. Soon I'll be doing one for Whitechapel. I'll be doing one for Lamb of God soon. Probably one for In Flames, eventually Cannibal Corpse, a few other bands as well, maybe even Slayer. But today we're doing my loves, my absolute favorite band in the whole world. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So this tier maker includes each of the studio albums, as well as their 2005 B-Sides and Rarities album. Make sure these are in order. And the list here goes from F, D, C, B, A, S, S+, and up to S++. And I think this is a little bit redundant, so I think I'll remove at least one of these tiers. Maybe two, actually. Keep this a bit simple, because the thing is, most of their albums to me are S-tier albums, but some are better than others, for me at least personally. This list doesn't have their first demo like Linus on it, but it'll probably go in D for me. I actually need to revisit that one sometime soon. The title track on that one is actually pretty excellent. So instead, we're going to start with 1995's Adrenaline, their debut album. And this was really one of the founding albums that kind of defined what we later came to know as nu metal. Around the time that this came out, this and the first self-titled Korn album, come to think of it, I should do a Korn discography tier list too. Those two albums, nothing sounded like it at the time. These guys were getting nicknamed Korn Jr. at the time, even though this sounded just so different from that first Korn album. Buzzsaw guitars, big chunky eviscerating riffs, loud power chords and whatnot, all done in regular E standard. Definitely not emblematic of what their later sound ended up being, but it's still an excellent debut album that I still enjoy throwing on every now and then. Full of energy, it's got some real heavy tracks. You won't find me skipping songs like Minus Blindfold or Roots or Birthmark is a big favorite. Even the hidden track Fists I actually am quite fond of. But my favorite track on here has to be 7 Words, by far and away, with Engine Number 9 being a close second for damn sure. And honestly, Bored is kind of undeniable. It's a very sexy track. It really defines their sound early on. It really encapsulates the sensual, seductive nature of Chino on vocals with a really tight groove of Abe on the drum kit, and heavy riffs by Stefan with big guitar chords and everything. I think I'll put Adrenaline in B. Genuinely not a bad album at all. Next up, we have Around the Fur, released in 1997. Honestly, in so many ways, this is a perfect album. It really captures a young band in their prime. They've been given the opportunity of a lifetime. They get to record a second album, and they just step everything up in basically every single way. And it's become iconic. It's become so widely renowned for a damn reason. It kicks off with the lead single, My Own Summer Shoving, and it's just irresistible and undeniable. That track still fucking hypes me up whenever it comes on shuffle. Sometimes I'll go out of my way to still throw it on, because I've been listening to Deftones frequently for the last 11 years. And when you hear all their songs so many times, you kind of take a break, But damn, My Own Summer's still so damn good. Oh my god. But the high quality does not stop there. These young 20-somethings, they bring you tracks like the filthy, sexy Labia, and a bittersweet ballad with Mascara, even super heavy numbers like Lotion and Rickets. I got to see them play Rickets live when I first saw Deftones for the first time on the Gore tour. That was pretty sweet. I've also seen them play the title track a couple times live. And that's an excellent track. But Head Up is one of their heaviest songs. I've seen them play it live a few times. It's just so damn good. That song is hype. Like total pure hype, adrenaline, full throttle, just fucking stupid, dumb, awesome, heavy riff that just powers and plows through the whole damn song. It's so damn good. And other sexy numbers like MX and the hidden track Demon. Even Data Flu's actually super underrated. But by far the way, Be Quiet and Drive is my favorite song on this album. And it's also my favorite Deftones song. And probably my favorite song in the damn world if it wasn't for Pneuma by Tool. Around the Fur, while it's not my favorite Deftones album, I wouldn't, argue with anybody who says it's their favorite. For me, it falls short of a few others on here that we'll get to, but it's going to go up in S regardless. Then we got the almighty White Pony. This is yet another perfect album, one that I enjoy even more so than Around the Fur, for a variety of reasons. I will say I think the standard version of the album is probably the one that makes the most sense, for a front to back listen. Because they eventually reissued it with Back to School Mini Maggot opening up the album, and it works. It does. I think it just adds a little bit of bloat. And it is a song that they didn't need to write, they didn't need to make, but they did get pressured by the label to do so. And it's still a solid song. I've seen them play it live a couple times. I think I've seen Deftones live 6 times now, I think. But I think Feichi Seira is like the spiritual opener for the album. Never been one of my favorite songs for them, but it just sets the tone so damn right. And it ends off with what I call the White Pony chord, which is just like the open C note with an octave, two minor thirds, like octave just above the C. The same chord that starts off Changing the House of Flies. Also, for the longest time, I can never pronounce it right, but Feichi Seira is a Portuguese word that means witch or sorceress. Pretty much front to back, there's every single damn song on here is great. Elite's one of their heaviest songs, as well as Korea. That's got such a bounce to it. Digital Bath is a motherfucking masterpiece, and I will fight anyone who dares to disagree. Knife Party is just so perfect as well. RX Queen is super underrated, and I wish they would actually pull that one out live a lot more often, because I think both Chino and... it was either Chino or Abe, but I know Frank said for sure that was one of his favorite songs to perform live, but they rarely do. At least these days. Great track. Street Carp is great. Teenager's great. Passenger is one of the greatest songs ever written, period. End of story. Come on. Maynard and Chino, my two favorite frontmen, collabing on a song, and it ends up being fucking perfect. And probably, the first Deftones song I ever heard was Changing the House of Flies, the single off this album. A lot of people's first introduction to them, still one of their biggest songs, period. I've heard it enough times at this point, and I don't need to hear it ever again, but it's just still such a fantastic song. It's just kind of transcended the band at this point. And Pink Maggot's just such a great closer. Honestly, White Pony goes up in S+ tier, no question. We got the self-titled album from 2003. God, I have so much to say about this album. It's a very interesting album in their catalog. It's one of their most unique sounding. It's got a very distinctive production behind it all. It's also one of their heaviest. It's got such a visceral guitar tone throughout the whole thing. And it's the first time that Stefan utilizes 7-string guitars. This is when he introduces extended range. And it cuts through just so perfectly on the opener Hexagram. Or him and Chino dueling rhythm guitar, I guess harmonies, going back and forth with power chords to create just a thick sound on songs like Minerva, which is a fantastic single, still one of their best songs, as well as Battle Axe, which is super underrated. And then big guitar chords on songs like Good Morning Beautiful, even the heartstring pullers like Death Blow. I used to be super obsessed with that song. That's another underrated one for damn sure. As well as When Girls Telephone Boys. That just might be maybe possibly the heaviest Deftones song. It's hard to say. It's very tough. But damn, check out their live performance of this though. 21st 2009 version of this song. It genuinely kicks ass, and you can especially hear the keyboards a lot more clearly than the album version. Even Bloody Cape too, which I think I've seen them play at least once. Super heavy, like super heavy riffs, and some people dismiss it, but I actually really like Lucky You, a little electronic number. Like that song on its own, it does kind of derail the album a little bit from a flow perspective, I guess you could say, but I dig the track a lot. And then Needles and Pins is easily my favorite song here. Like I lost my mind when they dropped that at the Golden Gate Park show that they did with System of a Down a couple years back. I was like, oh my god, just a beautiful, intimate fucking song. Turns out, I guess Stefan plays like a bass. Like there's no actual guitar on the song at all. I love this album, but compared to the rest, it does fall short. I don't really care too much for Moana. I think the flow of the album is a bit jumbled. It doesn't have like big standout songs for me compared to previous albums. Although I will say, Anniversary of an Uninteresting Event is easily one of the most underrated tracks ever. I adore that song to pieces, and I used to like not like it at all. I would just dismiss it, but then I just like actually listen to it. It's an interesting mix of tracks, but ultimately I will put it in B. Again, not a bad album at all, and it probably actually does have my favorite album art of any of their albums. Then we got B-Sides and Rarities, released 2005. I remember getting into Deftones like super deeply, and not even knowing that this album existed. At that point, I was obsessed with Deftones, listening to them a whole bunch, and so discovering B-Sides and Rarities and possibly illegally downloading it onto my iPod, I was just elated. So, like, I have very fond memories of getting home from work in my little 2000 Hyundai Accent, this little beater of a car, like winter, late 2015, early 2016, taking bong rips and listening to tracks off of this album. And there's a lot of good stuff here. The cover of Savory is probably my favorite thing on here by far. That's one of the sexiest songs Deftones have ever recorded. There's other great stuff here too. Sinatra, their helmet cover on here is awesome. The song Black Moon they do with Cypress Hill is pretty cool. And I love Crenshaw Punch, I'll Throw Rocks at You. It's just got such a unique, like bittersweet, strung out vibe to it. It's just so sorrowful but so sexy too. The cover of No Ordinary Love is just so good. If Only Tonight We Can Sleep is another big standout. And surprisingly, Please Let Me Get What I Want ended up becoming one of the most streamed songs. I found that really interesting. And I also got to shout out just how great the acoustic version of Be Quiet and Drive on here is. Like very, very intimate and just gorgeous. With that said, there are a handful of songs on here I don't really care too much for. Some of the acoustic versions on here don't do too much for me, but there's still like a handful of songs on here I do go back to. The idiot version of Teenager, too, is actually maybe even better than the original version of Teenager. But I'll put B-Sides and Rarities in C. Then, oh boy, we got Saturday Night Wrist, 2006. Oh my god, this album! I need another glass for this one. Like, oh my god. I could sit here and gush about how damn good Saturday Night Wrist is for hours. It is probably their best sounding album, like best produced, next to Koi no Yokan. It is just unbelievably good from front to back. No hiccups whatsoever. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I like Pink Cell Phone, damn it. Sure, maybe cut off like the last minute, 20 seconds of the song or whatever, and just throw it away. Whatever. It's whatever. They're having fun. They're goofing around. I don't give a shit. That song on its own, similar to Lucky You, I dig it. It's a mood piece. It's a vibe. I like the electronics. It's sexy as fuck. With that said, Hole in the Earth, great track. Rapture really captures the anger and frustration at the time, because these guys were on drugs. They were fighting. Chyna was going through a divorce. They were on the verge of breaking up. They were deep into alcohol, just all kinds of turmoil. And despite all that, they put out one of their best fucking albums. Like, come on. Beware and Cherry Waves are a couple of the best Deftones songs, period, point blank. I got to see them play both. I got to see them play Beware when they toured with Gojira back in 2022 at the Bill Graham Civic Center. It's amazing. I got to see them play Cherry Waves at least twice. A couple most recent times I've seen them. And Mine, which is one of the singles, and there's a video for it and everything, that is one of their best songs too, easily. The Serge Tankian feature, like it served the song well. I can take it or leave it. It does what it does. But the unique chords, the fast pace, the odd melodies, the different key changes and whatnot, it's a very unique song for them. I'm glad that they were able to kind of like revive its sound a little bit with Milk of the Madonna off Private Music later on. I also absolutely adore the instrumental up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, select, start. Or as you can easily just shorten it down, condense it to Konami code, you can just call it that. It tells me that Deftones should really do more instrumental work. Release more instrumental tracks, you know. And if you haven't heard that already, I would check out the Bob Ezrin Saturday Night Wrist Outtakes and Demos bootleg that's out there on the internet. That has some really interesting demos and unreleased tracks that are like so damn good. Never before officially released. There's a song they have called Finger of Death. The 2004 studio version, I believe. That has one of the best riffs Stefan has ever written, period. Man, this is quite the undertaking. But back to this album. It's great. Some of the most underrated, underappreciated work is on here. Rats, Rats, Rats is super heavy. Xerxes is beautiful. Like, oh man, what that song did for me back in the day. Combat is another super underrated track, as well as Riviere. That was going to be a wedding song for me. But my favorite song on here is Kim Dracula. First time I saw them, they played it. That's the only time I've seen them play it, and it's a damn shame because that is easily one of their best songs. Maybe even a top 5 song for me. It's so good. It's such a gorgeous, bittersweet song. I can't get enough of that one. Guys, Saturday Night Wrist goes up in S+ easily. A couple years after that, Deftones began work on what was tentatively titled Eros, which would have been their follow-up album. However, bassist Chi Chang would be involved in a horrific car accident in 2008 that rendered him comatose for 5 years until his eventual passing. Before that, the band really was rejuvenated in a sense because they had almost broken up and they were like, guys, do we still want to do this? And everybody's reaction was like a resounding yes. But they shelved the album that they were working on, Eros, and with Chi unfortunately in a coma, they recruited bassist Sergio Vega, known for his work in Quicksand, and they got to work on Diamond Eyes, which was released in 2010. And this is the album that did it for me. This is what made me a Deftones fan. At first, I didn't become as hyper-obsessed. That wouldn't come until like maybe 2015 when I realized, oh wow, Deftones and sex? A match made in heaven? But still, like, Diamond Eyes was widely renowned, widely celebrated as like, oh wow, this is the best album since White Pony. And there were 5 singles released from this freaking album, which all had music videos. I think Rocket Skates was the first teaser from the album, I believe, which had a killer video. And then the title track came out, and that gained radio airplay, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. What? Like, obviously that final ending breakdown is just so impactful. It's such a simplified song. It does so much with so little. It's so great. Yeah, Rocket Skates is easily one of my favorite Deftones tracks, still to this day. Still one of their heaviest. It really helped, like, garner my affection to them. It made me want to, like, listen to their, like, all their albums up to that point, which eventually I did. But also singles like You've Seen the Butcher, which is, like, probably my favorite Deftones music video, period. Did get to see them play it once, and that was at the Golden One Center in Sacramento a year ago, I think. Super sexy. I remember getting hella drunk when I was 15, hanging with a friend back in 2011, and we just like listened to some Deftones songs, a lot of them from this album. God, good times. But also Sex Tape was a single that was released from this album, along with a music video that accompanied it. And slowly but surely, it became one of their biggest songs as well. Like, guys, TikTok really changed the trajectory of this band. But my favorite song on this album, by far, which also got its own music video, is Beauty School. That is just such a perfect song. And I shit you not, for such a gorgeous song, it's about getting a blowjob. But it's just written and conceptualized in such a beautiful way that you wouldn't even think. You wouldn't even like put that together until you sit there and listen. I watch you taste it. I see your face, and I know I'm alive. You're shooting stars from the barrel of your eyes. It drives me crazy. It drives me wild. Like, top 3 Deftones song for me, period. God, and that bridge and that outro, that fade out, easily one of the best. Any Deftones song. I could write a book on Beauty School. Other great tracks too. Royal, I've seen them pull that one out. That was a pleasant surprise. What a damn good track that is. Command and Control, short, sweet, to the point, super heavy, very riffy, just great. Prince is another super underrated track from them. First time I saw them live, which was in Berkeley, 2016. They played that one, and it was magnificent. And then Risk is super underrated. Love the bouncy 8-string riff on this. By the way, that's another thing too. This is the first album that Stefan introduced 8-string guitars and kept it for the rest of the career up until now, you know? Although on Ohms he did introduce a 9-string on one of the songs there. The 976 Evil is just such a beautiful little ballad track. Oh, and it ends off on a great note too. This Place Is Death. I'm just going to put it up in S+ tier. I'm going to stop talking. Then we have, ladies and gentlemen, 2012's Koi no Yokan. I believe this released November 12th, 2012. I better be right about this. I got it right. Yes. November 12th, 2012. Now, I listened to it. And by listened, I illegally downloaded it. The day it came out. Of course, I was drawing the songs that were like on the heavier side, like Poltergeist and Rosemary, Tempest. But back then, God, I had no idea. Even 10 years ago, I had no idea. But more recently, I've come to the realization, Koi no Yokan is my favorite Deftones album. Like, oh my God, you can't beat this. You cannot top this album. You cannot beat this album. Best production, best guitar tones, best vocals, best songwriting, best flow. The tracks flow into one another so perfectly. Swerve City, just fucking perfect. Jumping energy right into Romantic Dreams. Great music video for that. Just skateboarding around the city. It's great. It captures the vibe so excellently. The change up that's in the song is just so damn great. Then right into Leathers. Just great heavy chunky riffs with a soaring chorus. Amazing vocals from Chino. Great bridges. Every part of the song is just perfection. And then right into Poltergeist. Easily one of their best songs. Period. That's a top 10 Deftones song for me personally. Heavy, one of their best choruses, one of their best post-choruses, and pre-choruses. Like, fuck, the structuring on this album, like, song-wise, is pretty fucking unmatched throughout their entire career. And then you got Entombed, which I have been fortunate to see perform live more recently. Absolutely drop-dead gorgeous song on so many fronts. And then Graphic Nature, the most underrated song on this album by far. I love Graphic Nature. Are you fucking kidding me? Big sawtooth guitars, great unique vocals and melodies throughout. Are you kidding me? It's so good. Oh, God. I want to listen to the album right now. I'm getting all hot and bothered just thinking about it. Just talking about it. Like, I love this fucking band. And then it goes into Tempest. And oh my God, another top 10 Deftones song, possibly. I remember hearing this song play during one of the episodes of that show, the Following. I don't know if you guys know that show, but The Following, and I think it was Furious 7, one of the Fast and Furious movies. And I was like that Leo DiCaprio meme both times. Like, oh my God, these are my babies. And I hear them like, And then Gauze is kind of like Risk from Diamond Eyes, but way better. Like God, it's just perfect in every way. The vocals, the riffs, the grooves, the way the song progresses, and then Rosemary. Rosemary. I think they play Rosemary every single time I've seen them. I'm almost certain. Sorry, I'm looking at my cat. I love my cat. Even the last two songs, they don't hold up as well as the rest of the album, but they're still great in their own right. Goon Squad powers forward like you're on a mission. It's so good. And What Happened to You is just a perfect little low-key closing track, and it's just beautiful. This is their best album, period. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later. No, just kidding. Don't go. Don't go. We got more Deftones to talk about. Then we have the infamous Gore from 2016. And at this point, oh my god, you know what? Tomorrow, because today's the 7th, tomorrow is the 10-year anniversary of Gore. That's crazy. I remember when Prayers Triangles dropped as a lead single, and I was just in euphoric bliss. Then Doomed User dropped, and I was like, yeah, this is heavy. Hell fucking yeah. And then they dropped Heart's Wires as a single, which is my favorite song off the album. And, God, it's what I needed at the time. I went through a breakup at the time this album was released, and this song especially was like what I needed. And when the album first dropped, it was like total recency bias for me. I was like, oh yeah, this is one of their best albums, period. You know, Acid Hologram, just great. And songs like the title track, Gore itself, is just like so cheeky and so sexy and intense and just blood pumping. Easily still one of my favorite tracks from them. But other than that, I will say LMIRL is a great song. Great song. I just remember being encapsulated by it when I listened to this entire album on acid like 3 weeks after its release. And that song was especially standing out to me. And when I saw them on the Gore tour, when I saw them for the first time, they played Geometric Headdress, Gore, and LMIRL. And I found that to be quite the treat. But I love Rubicon, especially nowadays. It's become one of my favorite songs on this album. And I've come to appreciate Phantom Bride a whole lot more too. But the rest, I mean, honestly, it's okay. I did re-listen to it recently. There was someone who put out a remaster on YouTube of this album, and it definitely made the whole thing pop a bit more, but ultimately, it just kind of pales in comparison to their other works. But it's not bad by any means. I'll put Gore in C. Then, oh boy, we got Ohms, released 2020. Similar feelings. You know, it's the middle of the pandemic, everybody's locked down, and then, oh my god, they release the title track as a single and put out a video for it, and life couldn't be better. Over time, the title track's kind of like worn off its luster, I guess you could say, for me. I think maybe Chino could perform vocals a little better on that track. Not to say that the track is written poorly at all, because it's certainly not. It's one of their most uplifting songs by far. It might be the vocal production. It's just it's a little distracting. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to get too wrapped up in the weeds about that. This album as a whole, super underrated. And this is like a little bit before they started blowing up on TikTok. So it kind of flew under the radar a little bit. You know, and of course, it didn't really have like those big standout singles or hit radio airplay songs. Like even Private Music had like My Mind Is a Mountain and Infinite Source playing on the radio and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't think Ohms got the attention and accolades and notoriety that it deserved. It definitely got like good reviews and it got them praise at the time for damn sure. But even to this day, like even Deftones themselves don't really pay this album much mind. They'll play Genesis. Genesis being the second single that was released as the opening track, which is great, by the way. Not one of my favorite songs from them, but it is very solid for what it is. I really wish the bridge was longer. But I remember listening to this album for the first time when it released September 25th, 2020. Me and my partner at the time just cooped up and just hearing it all for the first time. And Ceremony really is one of their best songs. It's definitely one of the best songs on this album for damn sure. And Urantia is okay. It's alright. Not crazy about it, but I dig the vibe of it, you know. But Error, oh my god. I have wanted to see them play Error live for years now. It's just like a perfect song to just get everybody going. And it's gorgeous too. And like the last 1/3 of the song, the way it just like takes off into the spacey atmosphere, it's such a good song. It's so underrated. But other tracks like Headless and Radiant City, they got great chunky, choppy riffs. Great songs for what they are. And Pompeii is like, it's kind of like it's like Deftones doing a play on Deftones. It's hella funny, like Pompeii and Fiji, you know. It's the destructive, aggressive sound blended with like the soothing, sultry, sweet dynamic, and they just play off one another. It's actually kind of a funny song. But the last two I want to mention, because I really do, I gotta mention all the songs, to be honest. This Link is Dead is unbelievably underrated. At first, I didn't really get it. It was really like different, but like the tension and the build up and the intensity of the song is fucking unmatched. Like, oh my god. It's not often like you get to hear the pissed off side of Chino, but this does it just so perfectly. And last but not least, one of their only songs that's like actually on a 9-string guitar, and that's The Spell of Mathematics. This is my favorite song here. And have they ever played it live? Have they ever played it live? Because if they haven't, that's a goddamn shame. Because oh my god, it's just perfect. It's got the quiet, loud dynamics nailed down to a T. It's super fucking sexy. It's like quintessential Deftones. It's really their song in a nutshell. It's just like, if you're a fan, how do you not just like gush over this song? Overall, it's definitely underappreciated. It's overlooked, underrated, but I wouldn't say it's above and beyond other works that they've done. So I will put Ohms in A. All right, guys. Last but not least, Private Music. 5 years in the making. We finally got it. And having listened to it a multitude of times, this is definitely one of their best albums, without a doubt. A few songs that didn't click with me that much at first are now like really gelling with me. Certain songs that didn't stick at first are really growing on me a bunch. I still don't feel like Metal Dream goes far enough. I think it might be my least favorite, but My Mind is a Mountain is a perfect tone setter. No gripes about that one at all. Locked Club has probably grown on me the most. Like, oh my god, that one's just an infectious one. It was like almost Daughters-esque. Damn, the writing is so fucking good on that one. Ecdysis, that could have been... Ecdysis? Whatever. That's one that could have been on Around the Fur, I'm not even kidding. Souvenir, just thinking about it right now, like, I want to re-listen to Private Music. It makes me want to re-listen to it. Because the way the song progresses and builds, it's just like, no one does it like these guys. Infinite Source, like, yeah, that should be a single. Like, what? Duh, that should be played on the radio, huh? Such a genius little harmonic riff on the 8-string tuned down to drop E. Just great. And CXZ, one of my favorite songs upon first listen. You can actually rewatch my reaction to this album when it first dropped in my live tab. Just reacting to this album for the first time. CXZ is still great. I Think About You All the Time has gotten probably the most replays for me, other than Milk of the Madonna, which was the second single released. And my reaction to that single on this channel actually did pretty decent numbers, at least by my standards, because of course it's an amazing song. And I can go on and on about I Think About You All the Time as well. Just so damn good. And Cut Hands could have been on Diamond Eyes, honestly. It's a nasty, funky, angsty, just banger with a couple of different change-ups, like changes tempos and time signatures. It's decent. Decent, like neat and decent. What the fuck am I saying? It's really neat, and the outro is reminiscent of Diamond Eyes, the title track. It just fits so damn well. And Departing the Body has definitely grown on me a hell of a lot too. Like, they really do know how to close out albums. Let me stop lollygagging and just rambling on and on. Just put that right up in S. Well, this is one weird ass tier list, isn't it? I don't usually do this because, like, on previous tier lists, I'm like, well, if it's in the row, it's in the row. I'm not gonna like organize them. But for you guys, I think I will. So I'll do this. I'll do this. I will do this. I will do this and this. So this is not just a tier list. This is basically like a de facto ranking for me as well. S plus tier. We got Koi no Yokan, White Pony, Diamond Eyes, Saturday Night Wrist. Then an S tier. We got Private Music and Around the Fur. A tier. Ohms. B tier. Self-titled and Adrenaline. C tier. Gore. And B-sides and rarities. So you guys have no idea, but I've been recording for an hour and 22 minutes. Should have anticipated that, but you get me talking about my favorite bands, and it's inevitable. I will have so much to say. If you stuck around this long, if you enjoyed what you see, or if you didn't, you thought this was cringe, you thought this was annoying, like, subscribe anyway. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below. How would you rank or rate Deftones albums, tier list wise, or whatever? And help me get to 2,000 subs. If you could share this with your friends, be like, hey, check it. We're Deftones nerds. Check out this Deftones nerd right here. And thank you all again so much, honestly. Check out my other videos as well. Stay tuned for when I go live. So like hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss that, or new videos, or don't. It just doesn't matter as long as you enjoy. Even the again, not bad at all, and it probably has my favorite album. Although on Ohms, he did interesting enough. But yeah, the 960s. I was so excited for this. I remember when Prayers trying. I gotta mention all the songs. This Link is Dead is unbelievably under